Knowledge, experience, and comprehension, parallel with the mind, body, and soul. Before continuing the series, I had to come to a decision if I was going to include spirituality. An alternative would be to simply describe the soul as a person's essence, but I think borrowing from Buddhism will serve well for today's topic. After all, Cicero spoke of philosophy as nurturing of the soul, cultura animi philosophia est. The mind knows, the body experiences, and the soul comprehends. When we learn something from a book, we often don't have the full comprehension until we do what we learned ourselves, or until we observe someone else doing it. You could read any number of books on pottery, for example, but you wouldn't truly comprehend how to apply that knowledge until you experienced doing it yourself. And once you did, the previous knowledge you had could help you improve further. We can also learn things with experience alone, but there is usually a limit as to how good you can get at something without understanding it fully. Someone may say, I've been doing this for 30 years, I know all there is to know already. But they wouldn't even be aware of the areas that they're lacking in because of their lack of knowledge. And they would probably also get defensive once you pointed those areas out. The point here is, an abundance of knowledge and a lack of experience, or vice versa, can lead to problems with the ego. One person knows that they're better, and the other person feels that they're better than they actually are. The wise person knows that even if you're the best at something, there's always room to improve. Speaking of wisdom, in Buddhism, bodhi means wisdom, or the awakened intellect. Might we say comprehension? Note that it has to awaken before it exists. To awaken something, we must first become aware that it does exist and that it's sleeping. So, how do we become aware of our souls? Well, in the last video we talked about the foundation of reality, so naturally the first step is to start thinking that we have one. The other meaning of bodhi is awakening. This is an integral process where a being awakens and comprehends their highest state of being and potential for growth. Many humans today believe that they are just flesh bodies that can cease at a moment's notice. It is this belief that cuts off their inner potential for evolution. Why would they spend the effort to become better if it is taken away from their limited time on Earth? What if our souls were to transmigrate back here, or in another time and space, with nothing but their potential? Do you truly believe advanced beings would accept our current nature, which is detrimental both to ourselves and our environment? Or would the minimum standard be a willingness to evolve and help them advance the universe further? The first time you experience true comprehension, you will understand why it's called enlightenment. The experience itself opens a door to something that was previously hidden. Once opened, many things become clear. Once a mind is sufficiently disciplined and trained, this state can be achieved at will. When you ask yourself a question in this state, the answers will reveal themselves to you on their own, and you will feel their true meaning. It is worth repeating that this requires discipline and training. There are no shortcuts for enlightenment. There are many easy ways to achieve altered states of mind, but altered does not mean higher. People who claim that things like drugs can replace meditation and cause enlightenment on their own are just showing you how deluded they are. Discipline is required to improve at any and every area of life and personal growth. To read a book takes dedication, but to study it takes discipline. To learn a skill takes dedication, but to master it takes discipline. And to perceive your potential for growth takes dedication, but to nurture it takes discipline. Therefore, convincing yourself that enlightenment is possible without hard work and discipline only achieves the opposite. It's basically cutting yourself off from growth because you can't be bothered to put in actual effort. You don't go to school so you can show everyone there how much you already know. You go to school to learn. So, when you approach the steps of comprehension, understand that the higher you climb, the more you can see behind you. When you climb this mountain and see the view yourself, you will no longer believe the people at the bottom telling you that you're wasting time and that you can see the same things from the bottom. Perspective is important, and enlightenment is a higher perspective. I can respect a person who refuses to advance in something that they don't enjoy doing or find beneficial to them, but I can't respect a person who says that they've already mastered everything. Perspective matters because our advancement depends on it being applied to ourselves as beings. As much as our thoughts shape our reality, we must apply ourselves in all aspects of life. If you're living in your mom's basement without lifting a finger, your thoughts will never shape your reality. You might eventually convince yourself about how great you're doing and how much better you are than everyone else, but once you leave that basement, that perspective will easily shatter. If we ignore the physical experience, we walk the path of false ego and delusion. To take this experience as a lesson is to evolve. Don't ignore knowledge because you're more experienced than someone, and don't ignore experience because you know more than someone. The easiest way to open yourself to growth is to shape your perspective to I am always learning. Comprehension takes effort, and comprehending ourselves takes more effort than anything else. To truly know oneself is a high state of being. It means knowing in which areas we can improve, what we are good at, what our strengths and weaknesses are, and what we truly enjoy. Once you know this, expanding effort to improve is very easy. Now, this might sound strange, but people can comprehend themselves without trying to. You don't actually need to spend all this time by directly applying the process on yourself. It can be done simply by excelling at what you choose to do. A true master of their craft will spend so much time pursuing it that the process itself sharpens the body, the mind, and the soul. You will change so you can be better at what you do, and you will do it with joy. A craftsman that stops halfway and tells themselves that they've already done and learned everything they can are no master, and this is where their progress stops. To challenge this is to know true progress. Truly great people will never stop improving in each and every aspect that they can, and they will never fall into the trap of ego doing it.